Hello, everyone. Good day, and welcome to another episode of Team Talk Live. I'm Terilee Harrison with Team Referral Network Virtual Chapters, and I'm so glad that you are joining us today. I'm absolutely delighted to introduce you to another one of our awesome virtual team members. And I just want to bring her on and have you meet her and get to know her better. So let's start off with just welcome, Holly. Great to have you here.
Thanks very much. Nice to be here.
So wonderful to chat with you and have our friends, our connections from all over the world get to know you better. I would love to introduce you formally to Holly. So Holly Rogoschewsky is an intuitive author and wellness educator with Essence Pathways and doTERRA essential oils. After a personal need arose, she began working in this area 5 years ago. She's a new author, congratulations, Holly, that writes about wellness, life, and the world. She provides education about using doTERRA products with a wellness lifestyle. Today, she's going to talk about, this is awesome, calm, sleep, and a relaxed approach to solutions. So please help me welcome Holly. And I think as business owners, especially those of us networking online these days, I think that this is exactly what we need to hear right now. So welcome, and I'm so glad you're here.
Well, thank you very much. Well, you know, sleep is the one thing that people have talked about over the years, and there's definitely been a lot of research as to how important sleep is. So sometimes, you know, you just find if you don't have the proper rest, the overwhelm tends to kind of catch up with you, and you don't have that neutral perspective that would be better for making those decisions. So this is one area, if you can work on your sleep, it's a really small step, but it can really help you come up with better solutions.
Tell us more about that. What else could we do? What can we do? Especially, how about for those of us who are networking online? We have a global business, and so we might be doing things at different times. Or Holly, I meet so many people now that, well, they've just adjusted their life. Like, so people who are more in like Pakistan and Egypt and even the Philippines, who like they live on the North America time schedule. So give us some top tips on how we can balance out our sleep to be able to be more productive and balanced in our life.
Well, what I do, what I used to do is sort of like the reactive approach. I think that's how all of us used to be. You know, you just kind of go, well, I'll just kind of go with it for now and see how things are working out. But I sort of say that's kind of more like, you know, then you got to rip the Band-Aid off, sort of, to speak. So what I do is use a proactive approach. I know that I have the oils, so I might as well just incorporate them. So like, say for sleep, a lot of times people will say there's, you know, I've got so many thoughts, I just need to calm them down. Well, one of the very best ones for that is vetiver.
Okay.
It's just known for that. And, you know, like I'll either put it just a little bit on my wrists, and, you know, if you're sleeping like that, or sometimes people put them on the bottom of your feet. And that's also a good way of getting them into your body.
Oh,
then there's,
awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ones that you can use. So I would just pick amongst sort of like, depending what it is. Like, is it just that you need to relax? If that's the case, my go-to would be lavender. So there's so many. They all have different properties. And, you know, I don't want to go on about a whole bunch of different ones because I think that can be overwhelming in itself. So
yes, you know what I was thinking, I had this idea, and at first I thought I was going to ask you to, like, in the comments go and share some of them, but what I'm thinking instead is if people are really genuinely interested in this to help them with some of the things you're going to talk about, we're going to have an opportunity for you to connect with Holly at the end, and perhaps they can connect with you and find out exactly what oils you recommend for their situation. Do you think that would be best, Holly?
Yes.
Because you're right. We could talk about oils and you could probably list them for like 90 minutes, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. So this is going to be our plan. This is going to be our plan. If you like what you hear, in like in this instance on point 1, we're talking about sleep, and you want to just, you'll find out here as we round out how to chat with her, and I'm sure she has some awesome remedies for you. So are we ready to talk about calm a little bit now?
Yes, for sure.
We all need some calm now, Holly. I'm just telling you.
It's an across the board kind of thing with all these things that we just, they're coming up for us. Things are changing. We used to say by the day, like now it's like through the day. We're not sure. And I think a lot of us are really trying to think ahead. And yet really a lot of these things, we almost have to sit back and just take it as it comes, because a lot of these things are they're not things that we're in control of. There's so many things across the world that are going to affect all of us.
Yeah.
So with all the unknowns, we really want to be approaching our business situations like looking at the big picture, not all those little small details, because those are the things that aren't the bigger ones. Okay, we know that we're getting through this. It's just, it might not unfold as we had planned. Like, for example, maybe we had a lot of travel planned this year. Well, we'll just have to see how that works out. But, maybe we can travel in pictures for the time being. So to encourage that calm, the lavender, again, you could use for calm. There's some other ones, like frankincense would be another really good one. Copaiba is one that I really recommend a lot. It's one of those ones, it's very relaxing, calming, and it's one that's relatively new to doTERRA, actually, but it's been a very popular one. So that's what I would do for the calm. And again, there is a long list, and I'll be happy to share what I like to do is find out a few different things that you might be able to work on, and then recommend something that will cover, a lot of times, quite a few different situations.
I love that. I'm glad that you do that. That's amazing. And I was going to say, the one you mentioned that was newer, I've never heard of that one before. So very awesome. Very awesome. Okay. So now we know some things that we can do to work on our sleep, what we can do to work on our calm, which I think is so important. And I appreciate your insight on that. And yes, things are changing, not just daily, but often throughout the day. And it's really how we take it in and how we operate really with it. So let's talk a little bit about this one. So, because I think do calm and relax kind of go together, but yet they're different, right? So talk to us a little bit about relaxing.
Yeah, like I guess I should have explained that. Like the calm, I just think of like how you're going to be approaching something.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Like, they're different.
Like you go rushing in, you come rushing in, you see there's something is really blown up in your business. You're like, oh my gosh. So the calm, like just, the calm approach rather than, oh my God, what are we going to do? We need that calm because it's just, we're just all learning, right? It's just a day-to-day thing. But for the relax, you're already really either upset or just really maybe stressed out. And you need to do something with that. So the thing that I really feel will help you is something that aligns with you. So it might be a walk. Yeah. It might be a bath, a shower. For some people, it's just simply to just sit and just take it in. Like give yourself the time to think and just kind of like, sometimes I think we just approach things like, we don't even give ourselves a minute. Like, we need an exact, an immediate reaction, an immediate solution. Sometimes you need 10 or 15 minutes. Just sit there and, or shower, or whatever it is, walk, just take that time. And like this, relaxing, like all the other situations, you can support with some oils if you should choose. Mm-hmm. So there's other ones like we've got Serenity and Balance. Those are amazing blends. Now, not that you can't use the separate oils as well, but those are two that are just, they're just so good. The Balance in particular is a grounding blend. And a lot of times that is simply what people need to do, is some grounding. And I know that's kind of, maybe people feel that might be sort of like a buzzword, like what is that about? Sometimes as simple as just, you know, just actually just really stomping your feet onto the ground.
Yes.
And yeah, it's just so helpful. And it overlaps lots of things, right? Overlaps into meditation, yoga, and yeah, it's very good. So yeah, so that's, you know, again, I could talk for hours about these oils. They are really awesome. And the only ones that we wouldn't have, like, we can also cover all kinds of cleaning, personal solutions, skincare. The only thing we don't have is makeup.
Interesting.
So, yeah, so there's lots of options for you.
Well, I love your insight, and even discussing, these are things that we don't always talk to our business owner friends about. We don't always talk about, hey, how do you relax? It's normally, hey, what app did you use on that thing again? Or, hey, you're going to go to this meeting, or I want to talk to you about this. This is like not a conversation that we have. So I appreciate you having this conversation with us, sharing with us about the oils. You just mentioned one of my favorite things to relax is a little bit of yoga, and that opportunity to stretch and breathe just for me does it. And I loved what you said, do what works for you. So whether that's your bath, right? Whether that's your shower, maybe it is the yoga, maybe it is a walk, and maybe it is like right now I know for me, I'm inside a lot. So even just being able to get out into the fresh air is amazing for me. I know my daughter has found a place in Southern California, about 20 minutes from her home, and she gets to go up into the mountains, and like she'll go spend time as often as she can, you know, throughout the week, just out there in nature, away from things. And I think it helps us cope, helps us to be calm, and helps us to relax. So I want to invite everyone, if you have resonated with what Holly has talked about, and I can tell she knows all about the oils. And by the way, I was thinking, can we get like half-gallon bottles of this, of Balance and Serenity shipped to us? We might need that. But I want to give you an opportunity here to connect with Holly. This is her email address, and she has several things she'd like to share with you. And we will put the detailed information for these in the comments below so that you can have more access to her. So Holly, tell us what else you might have for us.
Sure. I'd like to invite you to book a 30-minute call with me, and we could just go over anything that you might be interested in, any of the oils, and just other things, like any of these other things that I've talked about as well. I have written my first book. It has not been published yet. It will be out this year, and I do have a email address, my same email address there. You can contact me if you would like to go onto the pre-order list.
Awesome. What's your book titled?
It is Keep Moving, and you would it's a self-help book. It's related to a personal experience that we had in our family with grief and a terminal illness.
I think that the concept of keep moving is very powerful, and especially when you share the piece of what it is, I think many people can relate to that. So if you have loved meeting Holly today, and you'd like to have that time with her to chat about how you can have more of what she's talked about in your life, I know she'd be glad to have a session with you and be able to maybe direct you to some oils, etc. And if you're interested in her book, Keep Moving, let her know. Holly, if you could look into the camera and just speak to business owners right now and say one thing from your heart to them as we close out, what would that be?
Take time for yourself. We're worth it. You know, we really need some relaxed time, and just you can't say enough about some self-care.
So true. So true. Thanks, Holly. It's been wonderful chatting with you, and I look forward to seeing you on screen really soon. We didn't say where you're from. Tell them where you're from.
I'm from Edmonton, Canada.
That is right. So we've been doing Singapore and Canada right here, right to your screen, everybody. So thank you so much, everyone, for being part of this episode of Team Talk Live, whether you're listening live or on the replay. Thanks, Holly, and everyone have a great day.
Thanks very much.
You're welcome.